In the grand sprawling tapestry of life on Earth, there exists a darker thread, a narrative of survival that is written in conflict and peril. We, as humans, often see ourselves at the apex of the food chain, masters of our domain. Yet, we share this world with creatures whose very existence poses a mortal threat to our own. They are not always large, nor are they always monstrous in appearance. Often, the most dangerous are the most unassuming, the most silent, the most persistent. They are the architects of disease, the masters of venom, and the silent stalkers in the shadows of our own civilization. Tonight, we embark on a chilling journey into the heart of this darkness. We will peel back the veil of the natural world to reveal its most formidable killers. This is not a list of the largest or the strongest, but of the most effective, the most efficient, the most deadly animals to humankind. From the buzzing specter that carries ancient plagues to the predator that stares back from the mirror, we will count down the 5 species responsible for the greatest loss of human life. Prepare yourselves, for the truth of nature is often more terrifying than any fiction. The countdown begins now. We will traverse continents and delve into the microscopic battlegrounds where life and death hang in a precarious balance. We will confront the chilling reality that in the great, beautiful, and terrifying theater of the wild, we are not always the audience. Sometimes, we are the prey, the air you breathe, the water you drink, the ground you walk upon. Danger is an ever-present companion. Let us now face the top 5 deadliest animals on our planet, starting with a creature of surprising lethality. Our countdown begins not with a roar, but with a buzz. In the sun-drenched savannas and dense woodlands of sub-Saharan Africa, a creature no larger than a common housefly holds the power of life and death. This is the tsetse fly, a name that whispers of a slow, creeping demise. It is a biological marvel of deadly efficiency, a perfectly evolved vessel for a microscopic parasite. Its world is one of heat, dust, and the constant search for its next blood meal, a quest that brings it into direct and fatal conflict with humans and their livestock. The tsetse fly is not a hunter in the traditional sense. It does not rely on brute strength or cunning traps. Instead, it is a vector, a living hypodermic needle. Its prey is any vertebrate animal it can find, from wild buffalo to domestic cattle, and most tragically, to humans. With a piercing proboscis, it draws blood, but it leaves behind something far more sinister, a single-celled parasite called a trypanosome. This tiny organism is the true killer, the agent of a disease known to science as African trypanosomiasis, but known to its victims by a more terrifying name, sleeping sickness. Once inside the human body, the parasite begins a relentless assault. It invades the bloodstream, the lymph nodes, and eventually the central nervous system. The initial symptoms are subtle: fever, headaches, joint pain. But as the parasite crosses the blood-brain barrier, it unleashes its final, devastating attack. The victim's personality changes, confusion sets in, and the sleep cycle is horrifically disrupted, leading to the daytime slumber and nighttime insomnia that give the disease its name. Without treatment, it is a slow, agonizing descent into a neurological nightmare, ending inevitably in coma and death. A tiny fly, with a microscopic passenger, capable of felling the strongest of us. We move from the African fly to a creature found in our homes, our yards, and our hearts. It is an animal we have bred for companionship, loyalty, and protection: the domestic dog. This entry may seem shocking, a betrayal of the sacred bond between human and canine. But the danger lies not in the animal's inherent nature, but in a virus that can transform our most trusted friend into an unwitting agent of death. The vast majority of these animals are loving companions, but when infected with the rabies virus, they become a terrifying and unpredictable threat. The danger is most pronounced in regions of Asia and Africa, where stray dog populations are high and access to veterinary care and vaccination is limited. Here, the relationship between humans and dogs is more complex and often fraught with peril. A single bite from an infected animal is all it takes to transmit the rabies virus. It travels from the wound, creeping silently along the nerves until it reaches its ultimate destination, the brain. Once it takes hold, it is a biological monster, one of the most lethal viruses known to science. The symptoms are the stuff of nightmares. The virus induces a state of extreme agitation, confusion, and hydrophobia, a terrifying fear of water, making it impossible for the victim to swallow. the mind deteriorates, and the body follows. For humans, once these clinical signs appear, the disease is virtually 100% fatal. It is a grim and horrifying end, delivered by an animal we invited into our lives. While programs for vaccination and population control are making a difference, the rabid dog remains a significant and tragic killer, a stark reminder that even our closest animal allies can carry a deadly secret. Deep within the world's rainforests, arid deserts, and even its oceans, lives an ancient and feared predator. It moves with a silent, hypnotic grace, a creature of scale and shadow, the snake. For millennia, it has been a symbol of both healing and death, a creature that commands a primal respect and fear. While the majority of the world's more than 3,000 snake species are harmless to humans, a deadly minority has perfected one of nature's most sophisticated weapons: venom. It is this potent, fast-acting cocktail of toxins that places snakes firmly on our list. These venomous serpents are found on every continent except Antarctica. From the black mamba of Africa, capable of moving with astonishing speed, to the saw-scaled viper of the Middle East and Asia, whose aggressive nature leads to countless bites, the threat is global. Their prey is typically small, rodents, birds, lizards, but a defensive strike against a perceived human threat can have catastrophic consequences. Their venom is a complex chemical weapon, a mixture of neurotoxins that paralyze the nervous system and hemotoxins that destroy blood cells and tissues. Each year, tens of thousands of people, often agricultural workers in rural, tropical regions, fall victim to a snake bite. The encounter is often sudden and unexpected. A misplaced step in a field, a hand reaching into a woodpile. The result is a medical emergency of the highest order. The venom can cause uncontrollable bleeding, catastrophic organ failure, and suffocating paralysis. Even with the availability of anti-venom, survival is not guaranteed, and many survivors are left with permanent disabilities or disfigurement. The serpent's kiss is a swift and brutal reminder of the potent dangers that lie hidden in the natural world. We now arrive at a truly chilling revelation in our countdown. The next deadliest animal to humans is not a creature of the wild, lurking in jungles or swamps. It is not an insect or a reptile. It is a predator of unparalleled intelligence, creativity, and capacity for destruction. It has conquered every continent and every environment. It has built civilizations and technologies of breathtaking complexity. The second deadliest animal to humans is us. It is a sobering and undeniable fact that year after year, humans are responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of other humans. No other species on Earth exhibits such a scale of intraspecific violence. From individual acts of aggression to the organized, systematic slaughter of warfare, our capacity to harm one another is staggering. We have harnessed the atom, perfected the firearm, and engineered weapons of immense destructive power. Our conflicts are not merely for territory or mates, as in the animal kingdom, but are driven by ideology, greed, and hatred. We are the only species that wages war, that commits genocide, that builds prisons to contain its own. This lethality extends beyond direct conflict. Our industries pollute the air and water, leading to slow, insidious deaths. Our transportation systems result in countless fatal accidents. The societal structures we create can lead to poverty and desperation, which in turn breed violence and neglect. We are the architects of our own demise, a species locked in a perpetual and often bloody struggle with itself. When we look for the planet's most dangerous predators, we must have the courage to look into the mirror and confront the killer that resides within. At the apex of our countdown, we find the undisputed reigning champion of death. It is not the strongest, not the fastest, and certainly not the largest. It is a tiny, fragile insect whose high-pitched whine has been the soundtrack to human misery for millennia. The deadliest animal in the world, responsible for more human deaths than all others on this list combined, is the mosquito. This minuscule creature is the most proficient killer in the animal kingdom, a vector for a host of devastating diseases. Found across the globe from the frozen tundras to the most sweltering tropical jungles, the mosquito's survival depends on blood. It is the female of the species that is the hunter, requiring a protein-rich blood meal to develop her eggs. In seeking this meal, she becomes the perfect courier for pathogens. Her saliva, injected to prevent the blood from clotting, is a delivery system for viruses and parasites that have co-evolved to exploit this very mechanism. She transmits Zika, dengue, yellow fever, West Nile virus, and the most lethal of them all, malaria. Each year, malaria alone, a disease caused by the Plasmodium parasite carried by the Anopheles mosquito, infects hundreds of millions of people and kills close to 1 million, the vast majority of them young children in sub-Saharan Africa. It is a plague of staggering proportions. The mosquito is a relentless, indiscriminate assassin. It has shaped human history, decided the outcome of wars, and hindered the development of entire nations. It is a testament to the profound truth that in nature, size is no measure of lethality. The greatest threat to humanity comes on silent, delicate wings. Our journey through the world of nature's most lethal inhabitants has come to an end. We have seen that the greatest dangers often come in the smallest packages: the fly, the mosquito. We have confronted the uncomfortable truth of the violence within our own species. And we have been reminded that the ancient world of fang and venom still exists alongside our own. These creatures are not evil, they are not malicious. They are survivors, playing their part in the intricate and often brutal dance of life, just as we are. Their deadliness is a consequence of their own struggle for existence, a struggle that tragically intersects with ours. The mosquito does not intend to spread malaria, she simply needs a meal to lay her eggs. The snake does not hunt humans, it strikes in fear for its own life. Understanding this is not to diminish the threat they pose, but to see it in its proper context. A world of complex, interconnected systems where the actions of one species can have profound and devastating consequences for another. Our relationship with these animals is a reflection of our broader relationship with the natural world itself. The future of our own species may well depend on how we navigate this perilous coexistence. Through science, medicine, and a deeper understanding of the ecosystems we all share, we can mitigate these threats. Vaccinating our companions, developing treatments for ancient diseases, and preserving the balance of natural habitats are all part of the solution. The world is, and always will be, a place of both breathtaking beauty and formidable danger. Our challenge is to walk through it with wisdom, with respect, and with a profound appreciation for the fragile line that separates life from death.